Hi, welcome to another edition of Soul Talk with me, Wes Berwise. Today we have the privilege of meeting an artist who, from selling CDs from the boot of his car, went on to be signed by a major recording label and then went on to become Grammy nominated. We're talking about the singer, songwriter and musician, Dwele.
It used to be, we would be the best of all friends. It turned to be L-O-V-E, and I was your man.
Dwele, good to see you back in London, man.
Thank you.
Good to see that. When was the last time you were here?
Last year. Last year.
Yeah. What was the vibe like? How did it feel? Did they love you?
London is always good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always enjoy
That's Jazz Cafe.
Jazz Cafe, yeah.
Okay. And this time around, where you going to be?
Coco.
Done it before? Have you been there before?
Never done it. So
it's a really historic venue.
Okay.
I know I've got to educate some American people when they come here, but it's a really historic. It's been open since it was opened in 1900. Where people, anybody from the Rolling Stones to Grace Jones has appeared. Madonna has appeared there as well.
Oh.
So even though you might be thinking, it's in Camden and it's not quite in the centre of, no, it's actually really respected venue. So hopefully you're going to feel the vibe and feel the love when you're there.
Oh yeah,
that should be really cool.
I mean, I got to bring it.
Well, what do you mean you've got to bring it? You've got to bring it.
Yeah, I got to bring it. Okay.
Talk to me about what's happening right now with you. What's going on? I've been fortunate enough to hear your latest single, Drive the Future, which I think is fantastic.
Drive the Single is the latest installment. You know, when they approached me about, doing this initiative, I was eager to do it, because it's for a good cause.
What's the initiative about? Help, because there's going to be a lot of the viewers won't know exactly what the whole
it's just,
Drive the Future.
It's raising money, technology, science and technology in schools.
Okay.
I believe it's jackets for the homeless and a few other organizations.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did you get involved in that?
There's a company in Detroit that goes around and does this, that actually helps the organizations. And they approached me about making a song. They wanted to make a song, to kind of uplift the youth, and also work with the communities. And they said, we want something that's uplifting and we want something that's funky. And I'm like, how do you mix uplifting and funky, so it was kind of...
I've heard the single, and it's really good. It's really good. And was it written specifically for this cause?
Yeah. I went through. I made about five different beats. Trying to mix uplifting and funky.
Right.
But I felt like I didn't quite get it until I got to that last one. The lyrics started flowing a little more smooth.
Drive the future. Drive the future. My hero, my hero.
So here's a question I ask everybody, but which came first, the lyrics or the beats in this one?
In this case, the beat came first.
You thought, right, you found something, you settled on it, it felt nice.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your latest CD.
Yeah, the latest CD, Greater Than One. Feel good CD. It's a little something on there for everybody. I feel like this CD, for some reason, has more of an 80s feel to it, than my previous CDs. But I still try to keep those elements that make my music, my music. So I think it's a nice clash. I think it works. And
then we sort of look back, and part of you coming over right now is to sort of celebrate your sort of almost 10th anniversary of the Subject album.
Yeah.
Things have changed a little bit, haven't they?
A little bit.
I mean, when you first were, with Slum Village and you worked with them.
I would never want nothing tainted. Wait a minute, what you feel? Fainted if your loving was tainted. True, I know true love's hard to find.
And now we're in 2014 and everything's changed.
Yeah.
The way you do your music, the way it's marketed.
Yeah.
The way it's sold.
Yeah. Everything is different, man. I think part of us as humans, we don't want anything to change, and then there's another part of us that embraces, change. And I think in this situation, I think change is good. I've been fortunate enough to see both sides of being in the industry from a major label standpoint and from an independent label standpoint, and there's a lot of change, between those two alone. I think being independent is better for me because I like to produce my own music, write my own music, and I like to, I know what I want to put out there, and I didn't necessarily completely get that, when I was with the major. Even
with the Subject album, because I thought the Subject album sounded very real.
The Subject album was me. It was me, and that's why I always double back and I say that, being a new artist, I got a lot of creative control.
Okay.
You know, compared to other artists, I did. But even still, there were a couple songs on the Subject album and on the Some Kinda album
Which
that
you wouldn't have put there if you had a choice.
Yeah, I would not have put there. You
It's
know,
that
but
painful
I mean,
to hear though, especially when you've been, you know, when you've learnt your craft. When did you start playing? When you were 6 years old, 7 years old?
Yeah.
So you've learnt your craft. You've started writing. Then you're elated when you get offered the deal, and then someone says, "Well, why not put that one in?" And you're thinking,
this is you. You need to do this, right? Like that's not me. You know, they gonna tell me what me is. You know, but I mean, you know, hindsight, trading one song for 12, 13 songs is not bad. Yeah,
it's a good deal.
It's not bad at all. You know, so considering I had a sweet deal, you know, but you get to keep a lot more of your money.
The man was steady stacking chips, riding in the best of whips, living every day like his birthday.
Do you ever listen to the album, or is it like that's history, that was then?
Yeah, I don't really listen.
I don't listen to the stuff
it's like
anymore.
while I'm working on it, I listen to the album a lot. You know, over and over again in the car. You know, that's the only point in time that you can listen to your album and it's not vain that you're listening to your own music.
Well, only because no one else knows you're listening to
it. Yeah. It's like, you know, you can listen to it in your car, around the house, just to make sure that everything flows well and, you know, to kind of critique your own self, you know. So I think when I create an album, I listen to the music so much that once it's done, I'm good. I don't need to hear it anymore. I've heard it 10 million times already.
What kind of influences you? I know it's easy to say, okay, you know, you might. Is it something like you're walking along the street, you see something affects you, or is it a situation where, you know, someone says, why don't you write about this, and you sit down and write, much like Drive the Future? How does it work when you actually write in your songs, or when the influences come?
I mean, I draw inspiration from everything. You know, it can happen at any point in time. You know, I've woken up out of sleep, you know, with the song, like, like run into the studio, let me do that. And then, I mean, it can be something as simple as somebody, you know, just mentioning something. We were out riding bikes a couple summers ago. Okay. And we stopped at a little bar, a little outdoor bar.
Bicycles, you're right.
Yeah, bicycles. That's my thing. I ride fixies for some reason. Okay. But we stopped at a bar, and I ordered a round of Patron. I said, Patron. And then somebody was like, yeah, Pat Rhyme for everybody. And I was like, Patrick Ronald. And everybody started laughing, like, Patrick Ronald, Patron. Somebody was like, you should write a song about that. And I did. I went home and wrote a song.
It's on the latest album?
It's on the latest album, Patrick Ronald. And that came from just riding bikes, stopping at a bar. You know, I have a recording studio at home, so whenever it hits me, I just, you know.
You built your own recording studio in your home. Is that right? Or is that a bit of hype? I mean you
it's
kind of
not,
guided it. You sort of said, I want the recording deck here. Or you was actually there with the screwdrivers, with the tools, cutting and...
Yeah, I did everything myself. I mean, it's not an elaborate setup. You know, we can make a studio right here, you know, if it came down to it. So it's not a super elaborate, you know, setup, but that's all. I mean, it's something I've been working on over the years.
Is that kind of handicraft, the DIY side of you? Is that something which you like to flex when you can?
Yeah, definitely. I'm into creating, you know, everything from little one-off furniture pieces to...
You make furniture as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
What was the last piece of furniture you made, really?
The last piece of furniture I made, let me see.
Was it a chair?
It was not a chair.
Good.
The very last piece of furniture, I wouldn't trust a chair. I was going to
say, you know, you need to trust a chair.
But it was like a little table, you know, like the dinner tables. Yeah. So I took two records, a 12-inch and then a 45. Okay. I kind of layered them on top of each other, and they sit. They're like, you know, it's a wood structure with the actual vinyl on top, and it's a place for your plate and your glass, your drink. It's simple, but it's not simple because there's two different structures, and those have to be supported too. And then, you know, it's a cross support, and it's a cross support there, so it looks more intricate than it actually is. But
so when you're not writing music and touring, you're sort of doing this kind of craft thing.
I'm doing a little bit of everything. You know, if it hits me, like one day it hit me, I picked up a record. I said, "Yo, I could make this into a table," and I did it. Yeah, I watch TV, I eat on the records. I use it every day.
You eat off the record? Well,
yeah,
I
eat off music.
You're more than a pretty face, girl with a curvy shape.
I've noticed that in the last few years, things have changed. We seem to be going much more down the programmed kind of sound of music. Lots of programming going on. But it seems that you're one of the few artists who seems to resist in that. You're still using a lot of real instruments, a lot of real sounds. Is there a special reason for that, or is it just how you feel at the moment, or is it something that you're very passionate about and you want to continue as you go through your musical career? How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's how I started, you know, and I feel like that's part of my style. So I try to keep that, you know, I try to keep that in there. I have nothing against program music, like overly quantized music. That's cool. Sometimes it works. When it works, I'll use that, you know. But I mean, even if I do something that's heavy on the quantization, I still try to use live instrumentation with it.
Why do you prefer the live instrumentation? What do you think it brings, which, you know, the quantization, the actual drum machine sound doesn't bring? Why do you prefer that? Or is that going back to your roots as to how you learned?
Yeah, it's just how I learned. You know, that's my comfort. That's my comfort. So that's what I do.
Because I was checking out and I was looking at which instruments you play, and I saw piano, trumpet, guitar.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Harmonica. Have you touched the harmonica for a long time? Or have you decided
it's been about 8 years since I touched the harmonica. Actually, I was cleaning out my back room and I found like 5 harmonicas. When did I buy these harmonicas? Why did I buy these harmonicas?
I think, you know what it is? I think they look nice and they feel nice when you hold them.
Yeah.
There's something about a harmonica and it looks cool.
Yeah.
And you think, you know what, it can't be that difficult, is what you always think when you buy it.
Yep. I'm sure I used all of them. I'm positive I used all of them like 1 week and then put them away. Yeah.
The vocal harmonies are always very rich in your songs. Where does that come from? What has influenced you to use harmonies in that way?
Sometimes I wonder, I think it might come from playing trumpet. It might come from playing trumpet, you know, in high school. I always gravitated more towards the second trumpet and the third trumpet because those were the harmonies. Those were the parts that made the song beautiful. You know, the parts that didn't necessarily stand out, they were in the cut, but it gave you that thickness in the harmony, you know. Yeah.
So from there, from literally, it's the second and third trumpet you were playing.
Yeah.
So you were used to being in amongst those harmonies.
I like being in the harmony as opposed to on top. I did first trumpet. And it was cool. I used to like first trumpet just off the strength that you could say I'm first trumpet. Like I worked for it. I can do this.
Right.
I got first trumpet. But it was more fun in the harmonies.
I've noticed nowadays that on a lot of tracks, what used to happen back in the day was that we'd have instrumental solos. There'd be a keyboard solo, there'd be a guitar solo, there'd be something coming into feeling that centre section. Even when we went through the disco days, we had congo solos and bongo solos. Yeah. Do you feel tempted now to use solos in any way, shape or form in some of your tracks?
And I'm glad you brought that up because I did bring in a guitar player on Going Leaving.
Okay. All right.
Going Leaving. I use a guitar player, and that's when I have to call in an artist,
no,
you know, because I'm not a guy that can get up and shed on a guitar.
Right.
Once again, I'll lay a bed. I can lay a bed with a guitar, but I can't shred on it. So if I need somebody to shred on the track, that's when I call in an artist.
I was hoping we could find a way. I was hoping we could find a way. Have what we had again today. Have what we had.
I had a dream that I was in the studio and somebody was playing me one of their new songs. Like, yeah, this is the new one. I'm in the studio like damn, this is hot. You know, and
this time you're dreaming.
Yeah, I'm dreaming.
Okay.
And it's like, it feels like real life. And the hook is playing and everything. I'm losing my power, chasing all of that.
Okay.
And halfway through the dream, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I'm dreaming. So that means that this is my song, you know? So it's like, now I gotta wake myself up, you know? While it's still fresh, I woke myself up and I just I went and laid everything down. Yeah.
Wow.
Straight from a dream.
Does that happen often, or is that like kind of a unique
Every now
situation?
and then.
That must feel like a blessing, though, when that happens.
Yeah, it does. It does feel that way. But you know, a lot of times I can't wake myself up. A lot of times I'll be like, I'll remember it. You know,
and when you wake up in the morning, you think, what was that?
Yeah.
There was something there, but I can't quite remember.
So I know now that I have to jump on it when it happens.
Oh, you can be my flower. Let me be yours. Help you grow.
I have great pickup lines. I do.
Okay.
I do. I have great pickup lines. Now, don't get it twisted.
How have they been judged, though? I mean, you think they're great, or is this?
Yeah, you know, and that's what's funny. It's like once people know that I'm known for the pickup line, and they're like, oh, okay, well, let's hear one. And then I say it, and they're like, that was corny.
Oh, it sounds
that was
a bit-
corny.
yeah, 'cause-
but
yeah.
you laughed, you know, right? If you get them laughing, you're in there. Forget about it. Cancel Christmas.
Well, well, I read somewhere about you've got this thing about fashion, Dwele. Some said,
Really?
yeah, I don't know what that was about. That's why I thought I'm going to ask you about it, because people were saying, well, he's a really fashionable guy. I'm not saying that. Well, I'm glad you've dressed up for this particular interview.
I
Don't get
did.
me wrong. I can see you made an effort, but I've been told that you're like into Gucci and into wearing the nicer things in life.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, whilst you're in London, we want to make sure you go away with something which reminds you of London and which you can sort of take away. So we thought we're going to hand you a gift. It's been especially
Gangster.
done.
Oh, nice. Check that out. Dwele on the side. That's hot.
And if you look inside as well, you'll see, just in case any of your crew take it.
Wow. This is dope.
You like it?
Yes.
Well,
This is pretty hot.
that's for you, man.
I
That's for
appreciate
you.
it, man.
No, it's for you, and it's our little way of saying thank you for all the great music you've brought us over
Oh,
the years,
man.
and long may you continue to do it.
Thank you.
That's all we've got to say, really. Tell me about how people can contact you, how they can keep in touch.
It's at The Real Dwele on Twitter. Also at The Real Dwele on Instagram. You'll see a picture of this soon. DwelePressKit.com.
Okay. All right.
Where you can go to stay up on like the travels and everything that's going on.
Okay.
At Dwele Fans on Twitter also. They're very instrumental with keeping people abreast of like the tour schedules and everything.
Okay.
Facebook, just Dwele.
Okay.
DWELE.
Listen, all I've got to say is I wish you all the best for your concert coming up in London, and also the Manchester concert as well.
Yeah.
I know you're going to rock the house. I
Yeah.
know you'll rock the house.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So
good.
once again, next time you're coming in, check us out again, and we'll see, if we can have another chat and talk a little bit more, even deeper about your music and your influences again, yeah?
Cool,
And
cool.
also about those chat-up lines.
Yes, all good.
Dwele?
All good.
It's been a real pleasure.
Oh man, appreciate you.
Enjoy it. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.